Hello, welcome to my review of Sunrise on the Reaping, the newest Hunger Games book written by Suzanne Collins. Um, Before we get into this video, I just want to say, since this is like my first actual official video, kind of, I've noticed since, I like to watch a lot of YouTube videos, I prefer when I have a nickname or something that I can call the person whose videos I'm watching, even like especially if they don't give their actual name. And Book Queen 17 is not exactly, a name to call someone. So I figure I on this channel I will go by B because, like Queen Bee, Book Queen, whatever. So yeah, you can call me B. I feel like that helps connect better with the person, and then that makes the videos more interesting. So yeah, let's get into this video. Sunrise on the Reaping. Just wow. I was so blown away by this book. I finished in less than a day. It was just incredible. I could not put it down. I don't even know where to begin with this. I'm a big Hunger Games fan. I have been for a lot of years. Loved the original trilogy. Loved Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I actually have right here. Love the book. The movie was not terrible. It was good. Okay, it was a good movie. But it just didn't quite live up to my expectations after reading the book. The original trilogy I thought was pretty decent movie remakes. Yeah, but this Sunrise on the Reaping, honestly, reading it, I was like, I was a bit bored with it at first, but I'd heard really good things, and I love Suzanne Collins books, so I was pushing through. It was so good though. I'm so glad that I pushed past like the first chapter, so that was a bit boring. Okay, and also just to let you know real quick, this is not necessarily going to be a spoiler-free video, nor is it going to have a ton of spoilers, but there will be some, so tread carefully. Yeah, I'm honestly looking forward to the movie adaptation of this, assuming that it gets done right. I think it has a lot of potential to be a very, very good movie, but it's hard to make movie adaptations of books, and I do understand that. I'd love to see a really good movie adaptation of this. It was just so amazing. Where to start? So, this book, for anyone who doesn't know, follows Haymitch, who's Katniss and Peeta's mentor in the original trilogy. It follows his Hunger Games. And when I first heard that this book was coming out, I was honestly a little bit like, really? Like, why? Why? It's like, for anybody who's read book 2, you know that Katniss and Peeta watched through Haymitch's game in preparation for the Quarter Quell, sort of. And I felt like we had pretty much his entire story. I didn't really think there'd be a whole lot to add to it, but wow, was I wrong. So the Capitol, let's just start with that. The Capitol covered up so much of Haymitch's games, and it was really interesting to see the way they did this, because a lot of prequels that are done after a series, they sometimes have some inconsistencies or they mix stuff up. But this one, it was exactly like, it just fit so naturally with what we had in book 2. And the thing I really like about this is that it ties in a lot of stuff from not just the original trilogy, but also from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It creates a very good transition from the original prequel, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, into the original trilogy, which I loved. And the fact that we get to see Mags and more of her, I loved, because I love Mags in book 2. Very sad about that, but I loved getting to see more of her, and Wyrus too. It was, I think, really good to see more of her as well. And it was so interesting to know that Plutarch was like kind of a rebel for a long time. I didn't really think that. And now I'm like wondering what Haymitch's reunion must have been like with him when they, in book 3, when they're at District 13. But yeah. Um and oh, this book was so sad. I cried so much reading this book, but it had moments that made me laugh. It was very well written. I don't cry a lot when I read, so, when a book's able to make me cry multiple times, that's like really powerful. I think the only other book that's ever done that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Yeah, this book is just unbelievable. Um, it was really interesting seeing, like, seeing the, oh, what did they call it? The alliance between the other districts. The newcomers, that's what it was. Yeah, seeing the newcomer alliance being a thing, that was really, really cool. Like, that's kind of what I thought from the original Hunger Games books. I was like, if everybody else just made an alliance against the careers, that would make things a lot easier. But, I get not doing that because everybody's trying to kill each other. And I really liked how Haymitch was just like a really good guy, it seems like. Like, he was trying to do the best he could. But he did have to leave the newcomers. And, the capital spin on him made him seem like such a terrible, rough at the edges kind of guy. And, like, not super terrible, but, like, they just made him seem very cold-hearted. When it's so clear from reading his book that that's not the case at all. Like, the way he was with Luella and Lulu and the District 6 and, like, all the other kids there. He was a good guy. Oh, and the fact that he was friends with Katniss's father, I thought was really interesting. It was funny because when the book started and he's talking about, what was the name, Burdock, I think it was. At first I didn't make the connection, but then he was like, oh, and he had a thing for this girl, merchant girl, Astrid. I was like, oh, I bet that's her parents, and it was, which was really cool. I'm getting to see her parents a little bit. And the fact that he and Macely were like butting heads a bit at the beginning, I thought was really interesting. Oh my gosh, Macely, I loved her character. She was so funny. The fact that she just like slapped Drusilla back, that made me laugh out loud, honestly. Yeah, I loved her character. Her death was very sad. And the fact that they didn't actually split up at the end. Like, she was just going back to like look for food. Or I think, yeah. Dude, wow. Yeah, but the fact that there was this big alliance of like all of the other tributes against the careers, and you don't even see that in the like final edit of the games, was just crazy. Like, the way the Capitol controls the narrative of everything is just so fascinating. Oh, I love that we get to see that Dr. Gall is the one who coined the term "May the odds be ever in your favor." That's something crazy. Oh, and oh my gosh, the fact that Haymitch's girlfriend was a Covey girl. Covey? I don't know, I say it Covey. If I'm wrong, let me know. The fact, oh, yeah, Lenore Duff. The fact that she's Lucy Gray's niece is just insane. At least that's what I'm assuming, because they don't actually say who her mom is. I'm assuming it's either Barbazor or Maud Ivory. It's interesting that we don't see either of them in this book. I'm kind of wondering what happened to them and which of them's her mom. But, that's my assumption. Just crazy. Just crazy. Like, I love all the tie-ins with this. And the fact that that's how Snow, like, seeing that Flint striker, Snow was like, oh, I bet she's like, what, like a Covey girl. That was just crazy. And the fact that Haymitch put the pieces together. Just wow. This whole book was just amazing. It was sad the whole way through, but it was also, there were funny parts and just interesting parts and just wow. Yeah, this was kind of long and rambling, but yeah. I'm still gonna make like a book rating short of this. The reason I do so many of those instead of like actual full-on reviews is because I'm not able to record a lot of videos like this usually. Like, I'm limited in what I can do on this channel. Kind of, whole new thing for me. Don't know how to fully work all this stuff. I'm learning. But yeah, since I had the opportunity today, and this book was just absolutely out of this world. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a full-on video of this, but I'll still do the book rating thing. Which those also on those are just like my personal opinion. Those book ratings that I do, they're not necessarily based on anything, and I don't mention if there's like any like potentially triggering things in the books. I think some of them I've done book ratings for. I didn't mention like trigger warnings. They're not meant to be like if you're gonna read any of those books, like, maybe look into them a bit more first, just for extra caution. I'm sorry for going off on that side tangent there. I just wanted to like clear that up while I have the chance real quick. Um, but yeah, so for this book, 5 out of 5 stars. Just blew me away. I didn't really expect to like it much, but it was probably one of my favorites in the series, honestly. Again, can't wait for the movie. Hope it's done well. I really think it could be done very well. Yeah. Haymitch being such a troublemaker. I mean, who would have thought? Like, he was really like Katniss and Peeta, except up a few notches. And the fact that he calls Luella sweetheart, and that's why he calls Katniss sweetheart, because she reminds him of Luella, I was like, that is just so. Oh my gosh, poor Luella. But still, I'm honestly kind of glad that she didn't die in the Hunger Games, though, because we were reading, or I was, us as all of us as readers reading this book, but me reading this book, whatever. I was reading this and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot handle, like, I'm gonna have to, read this little girl's death, and that's so sad. I don't think I can stand having poor little Luella going into the Hunger Games, and then, it sucks. Her death is horrible, but at least she never had to go in the arena. And then poor little Lulu, oh my gosh, that made me so sad. I was like crying about that poor little girl. But I do love her with the snake. That was crazy. Oh my gosh, and Effie Trinket. I love that they had Effie Trinket. I was laughing so much. I had to like stop and put the book down and just laugh because it was like, oh my gosh, Effie Trinket. And she's still like all like adorably clueless about everything. But she's actually like being really helpful and nice. And the fact that her younger sister was Haymitch's stylist, I thought that was just so creative and so funny. Oh my gosh, it's so good that she becomes the District 12 escort, because Drusilla is just awful. Oh my gosh. And the stylist guy, Senna is such a better stylist. R.I.P. Senna. Because, dude, this guy, I forget his name. What's his name? I don't know. Whatever it was, this stylist guy is just crazy. All the reptiles. And like, the fact that his just lack of care for these tributes. It's just insane. Just insane. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this book was fantastic. Also, do you dog your books? I like love to dog ear books. Yeah, I'm sure there's people like screaming at me for that right now. I know, I'm sorry, but like, it's the best way to find things to reference. Like, for the list of all the tribute names, I dog-eared that because, like, how else? There's so many names. There's 48 tributes that year. So I had to dog-ear it so that I could, like, find it and remember it. Or, like, I don't know, other things that are, like, good to reference. You have to dog-ear those. I know people have, like, those tabs, but, like, I don't know. Somehow those bother me more than, like, the dog-earing thing. Because I'm like, you can always straighten dog-ears back out. And this is a library book. So I feel a little bit bad about doing that. But, not too bad. It's like, honestly, it's so sad because, like, hardly anybody around here reads, and it's just so devastating. So I'm like, hey, I'm showing that this book is appreciated by dog-earing it or whatever. If the librarian ever finds out and has a problem with it, I can stop doing it. I don't care. That's probably terrible of me, but like, I'm like, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. This book was just so amazing. I highly recommend to anybody who likes the Hunger Games. I don't think it could really, like, I'd say read, like, if you haven't read the original trilogy, I'd say read that first. Like, this could probably work well enough on its own plot-wise, but I think it's so much better if you've read the original trilogy. And I think also it won't make as much sense if you don't read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes first. Honestly, oh, you know what? That would be really interesting actually to read it chronologically, like read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, then read Sunrise on the Reaping, then the trilogy. I wonder if that would work. I don't know. Let me know if anybody tries that out. But I'm saying way too much, aren't I? I'm sorry, I'm not used to making videos like this. But oh, and there I go again. um, I swear I'm just gonna stop talking. So this book was just so good. Highly recommend. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to start a discussion on it in the comments. I know a lot of people might not have anybody who they know who likes the Hunger Games to talk about it with. I personally am in that boat right now. My friends are reading it right now. I can't wait for her to finish so we can discuss it. But yeah, that's my very rambly, crazy, like thoughts on the Sunrise on the Reaping book. Yeah. Okay, yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss one of my uploads. I try to post at least one short every day. Sometimes I don't always do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and let's go Hunger Games! May the odds be ever in your favor. Woo!